Hi YouTube, welcome to the channel My Home Laboratory. I came into the garage and realized that there was even more growth on the plate, the fallout plate or the fallout wave plate. And I did want to show you the update. I was going to throw the plate away, but I want to show you the update. So this is the results for the fallout plate. And the thing is, I'm going to do some swabbing. I want to put some of this onto some agar because I am interested in a few of those organisms are. So I'm going to swab them onto a plate. I could either swab them or I could streak them onto a plate. I'm only going to swab them because it's a little bit of a simpler process. I'm just going to grab a swab and inoculate it. But there's another reason why I wanted to swab it. I want to swab it because I wanted to take up as much as possible with each passing. So I'm going to grab as much as I can with the swab. And the thing is, and even though the inoculating loop can do the same thing because you don't need much to inoculate another plate, but there are a few small specks and I want to grab as much of those as possible. I don't want any to fall off. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to wet swab it. I'm going to dry swab it because over the years, I've realized that in a case like this, because it's already moist, I'm not going to add any more liquid to it. I'm just going to dry swab it and hope I could flake it back off onto another plate. So I could tell that there's quite a bit of mold growth, but for this channel, I'm going to keep it moving because there's a lot of things that I wanted to test. And those are organisms that grow prevalently in the society. So we'll always get back around to all of those creatures in case I wanted to start doing something mold related on the channel. But for now, I want to keep it bacterial only so that I can contain the direction in which this channel is going. But for now, I'll just do bacteria. And so I can tell that some of those are fungal just because of that fuzzy filamentous growth. I could tell that they're fungal. Maybe in the future I'll go into the fungal growth part, but for now I'm just going to focus on the bacterial. I have 5 plates set aside here. I believe that there's at least 5 colonies on the wave plate that I'm interested in regrowing. So these plates here, I made 40 plates, but these plates here, they slipped through the cracks. They are missing some of their media here because when I poured it, I either didn't, sometimes when you pour, you just give it a little bit of a swirl, just a little kick, or you just pour enough until you see the gap filled. But anyways, these aren't sufficient for some of the other applications, like a streak plate, definitely not. And I guess they could be used for a swab plate. But the thing is, I don't need a consistent swab plate. All I'm going to do is just inoculate it. So I'm going to use these. But I'm just showing you that this is how it looks when you don't. This is how it looks when you don't let it completely fill the space. So it'll eventually harden and then you'll be left with a little bit of a gap. Now, it's not so good to use for a streak plate, but for what we're doing, this will be more than sufficient. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take from each one of these colonies and just apply it to the other one. And then we'll see what happens after that. I'm going to label each of these and I'm going to label them because we're starting to get a lot of plates gathered here in the garage. So I'm going to start labeling the plates. And what I'm going to label these plates is, this is the wave plate. So I'm going to label them wave plate and then I'm going to number them 1 to 5. Now I have my mask on now, so I don't know if the sound is any different, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, it'd be nice to show a picture. And then what I'm going to do is afterwards, I'll number them. So I'll number them after I swab it. And then that way I have an idea of where it came from as far as the picture is concerned anyways. So now they're all labeled wave plate garage. And I'm going to number them from 1 to 5. So 1, 2. So now they're all numbered and labeled. And so on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the spot. Now, it doesn't matter which one is which because we have video footage, so I can tell afterwards. And of course, I'm going to have to use a different swab for each one. So this one is going to be taken from this here. Well, I'm back. And as you can see, I did wear my mask because we were disturbing quite a bit of organisms. They're probably still in the air. I just assumed to not directly inhale all of them at the moment. And I'm not sure if I put this in any of my safety videos, but please make sure you have an N95 mask. It doesn't matter from which company, a reputable company would be better, but N95 because it's 95%, supposed to be 95% sure of removing particulates. Well, as far as determining what's in each of those plates, that's probably not going to happen for this video because it's going to drag out the video. So I'm going to just save all of my sampling for maybe one video and then determine exactly what I have from that one video. Especially, I'm not sure, maybe some of these are even fungus. If they are, then I'm just going to throw them out. But if they're bacterial, then I'll carry on further testing. I just wanted you to see exactly that if you leave it out, it'll still grow, and it can grow without an incubator. It does take its time though. And I wanted you to see exactly how many things would actually fall onto the plate and to see the spread, to see the growth spread of the fungus over the plate. Those are the things that I actually really wanted to show you. I'm just personally curious to know exactly what grew as far as bacteria is concerned. So I didn't bother check the fungus because they're so plentiful and we can always find them in the air. But oh, and the reason why I didn't do an actual traditional swab plate is because I just wanted to get something on the media. So I didn't need a blanket. I just need it to be big enough so that I'm going to come back and do some other testing. And then after that, then maybe I'll start doing maybe a streak plate or I'll inoculate it into a broth. I was going to put it into a broth, but this is a little bit simpler. And I actually want to actually see the morphology as well onto the plate. So I just want to get it onto a plate for now. And I did make 40 plates. So I just assumed to use some of them anyways. So that's another thing. And for those of you who are just starting, you might only have agar. Now I have LB agar because I also do electrophoresis. I have LB agar. We'll get into the agars afterwards, but it promotes a little bit more growth. And so, but if you have TSB or sorry TSA, tryptic soy agar, if you have the agar that's tryptic soy and not the LB, then it's still going to be good for what we're doing. Now I've looked online and it doesn't look like the tryptic soy agar is much cheaper. So to get a little bit of a better growth, maybe the LB is just a better option. If you have agar, TSA or the LB agar, if you have agar and you only have one type of nutrient agar, then I want the video to be able to conform around that as opposed to just going forward with many different medias when many people probably haven't gotten that far yet. So you can get some on Amazon. Agar is probably the first thing that, or one of the first things to buy, along with plates, of course, for anybody who's just starting out. Plates and then agar, and honestly, you can use a Q-tip swab to inoculate and test areas of your home. So even the swabs aren't that necessary. You really can just use anything from the dollar store. The most important thing is to have the growth medium and then the plates to put the growth medium in. So thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe to help our channel grow and to help keep positive content on the internet. Thanks again.